The process of entering the realms of the backrooms physically are quite simple for a mortal, but is not easily replicated in practice. To a god, of course, entering the backrooms are effortless. For us mortals to intentionally enter these rooms, one must first break out the physical limitation, or other words, no clip out of this road. To do so, a fully solid object must be first located, one large enough to fit the whole body of the individual who wants to no clip. The next step is to place his thinnest and hardest part of the body, for example, a fingernail, against the solid object. Put force and lateral motion until a sinking sensation towards the object can be felt. Slowly and slowly, the molecules of the body will fuse against the molecules of the object, eventually being fully enveloped into the object, and thus successfully no clipping out of reality. Upon doing so, one will be transported to the realm of the backrooms. The other method is to perform lucid dreaming and enter the backroom spiritually. By thinking about the backroom during the dream will cause the dreamer to be transported to the location. However, most people enter the backrooms unintentionally. They usually take the common appearance of a wall that is in a darker shade than the walls around it, doors that are in random places, glitched objects, and areas that induce feelings of paranormal. Unsuspecting victims will often accidentally wander through an entrance, entering the backrooms. Groups that try to enter the backrooms will be separated into different parts of the backrooms. After arriving, these unfortunate individuals would often find themselves trapped and wandering through the labyrinth of the backrooms. The entirety of the backroom spans across 600 million square miles of space. The backrooms are divided into two different types of levels: normal levels, which is what makes up the basis of the backroom, and their dangerousness relates to the environment of the level and the entities which inhabit it. The levels range from level 0 to 999, out of which the first three levels are where individuals who no clip are most likely to be transported to. To survive and exit the backrooms, it is said that one must venture through the entirety of the 600 million square miles of space, eventually finding an exit in level 999. Few, if any, have reached this depth of the backrooms. Most of the levels which exist deeper within the realms remain undiscovered, and new information to the entries are added each day. Aside from the normal levels, enigmatic levels are levels without ordinal placement in the layers of the backroom. These rooms have stranger properties than the normal levels, and their purpose is still a mystery. New ones are discovered each day and documented. Each levels of the backroom has their unique landmarks and random artifacts, some even containing living entities. The layout of each floor will vary depending on the mindset of the one who enters, and will never be the same aside from the aforementioned properties. They can be considered as randomly generated. Classification and difficulty are assigned to levels based on their survivability for the human wanderers. These range from 0 to 5, 0 being the safest and 5 being the most hostile and unsafe. These levels are defined by how safe, secure, and how high the chances of encountering an entity is on that specific level. To make things simpler, I will only go over the first 3 normal levels in this video, which is usually where most wanderers will spawn on. This is the first level to the backrooms, and is also one which many wanderers will find themselves in. The title given to this level is called the tutorial, and the description of level 0 is that it is a non-linear, randomly generated floor, resembling the backrooms of a retail outlet, hence the name of the realm. Pertaining to the title, this level serves as to get the wanderer a taste of what is yet to come. The only superficial features of level 0 is that the walls are covered with a distinct mono-yellow wallpaper, the floor is covered with a damp carpet, and the lights in the ceiling flicker and hum all throughout the 1 million square mile that the level encompasses. Outlets can be found on various placements on the wall, but it is unknown as to where the electricity is coming from. Most of the outlets do not work at all. The liquid that makes the carpet damp are of unidentifiable element and is not safe to consume. Molding can also be found on some parts of the wall. Normal logic of space and time do not work in this dimension. The The wanderer can be walking in a straight line and eventually wind up in the same place they began, or they can be retracing their steps and ending up in a place where they have never been before. Navigational tools will cease to function. As the wanderers trek on, the low frequency of the humming of the lights may cause hallucination in some patients. Prolonged exposure will induce psychosis and insanity. Wanderers will have to reach an exit before they succumb to isolation, sensory deprivation, or dehydration and starvation. No reports of living entities exist in this level, which is why it is given the survival difficulty of level 1. To exit level 0, wanderers must venture into the depth of level 0, and if they are lucky, they will discover a place to no-clip into level 1. This level is named the Habitable Zone, and is no longer the yellow, worn-down backrooms like level 0. Instead, it resembles a large and empty warehouse with cement walls and floorings. Low-hanging fog appear around the room, which condenses into random puddles on the floor. There is also a constant supply of electricity, which makes this level, as the name suggests, inhabitable. Crates will randomly appear from time to time. Within these, random items can be found. Some of the items which the crate contain are food, weaponry, medical supply, utensils, live animals, and even dismembered parts of the human. The light fixtures in this level are prone to flickering. Sometimes paintings appear on the walls of this level, which during the blackout, it appears and disappears into different places. When the light is off, objects and living things are prone to vanishing into thin air. Entities which live in this level may become active, but are less likely to attack groups of people or when the lights come back on. Level 1 is given the survival difficulty of Class 1. This level is also fairly intricate in its nature, as staircases, elevators, hallways, and halls will be randomly generated, leading towards other different levels. Currently, the only exit with a known definitive destination are of level 2, the random hallways, and level 19, the random halls. In this level, there are a few factions which occupy and take advantage due to the vast amount of resources, one of them being the alpha base of the major explorers group, which is the faction made by the people of the Backrooms who keep wanderers of the Backrooms safe from entities, traps, and other groups. Level 2 is named Pipe Dreams, which describes the millions of miles of dark, gray concrete tunnels. Its walls are lined with pipes and air ducts that drip an unknown dark liquid. Doors can be randomly found, but most are locked. The ones that could be open lead to empty room or other levels of the backrooms. The levels that are reported to be reached by these doors are levels 1, 3, 4, and 283. Within this level, areas of extreme heat can be found. The sources of the heat are unknown, but are speculated to be machinery running beside the wall, causing the surrounding areas to heat up. Within this level, encounters with entities are far too common, giving it a survival difficulty of 2. For the best chance of survival when fighting one of these entities, the wanderer must run away as soon as possible, or be able to fend themselves off in groups or with effective weaponry. The levels of the backroom continue in an endless spiral to oblivion. Each level has their own unique properties, such as level 100, where only a thin line of land exists, and both sides are endless reaches of the ocean, and level 223, where the level is only a 6 km by 6 km clear gelatinous cube that is suspended in midair. Sublevels also exist as an extension to the main level. For example, level 0.2 looks to be a remodeled version of level 0 and exists between level 0 and level 1. To enter this level, one must find a door that leads to it within level 0. It is said that this level was created by the mysterious backroom remodeling company. Their motives and location within the backrooms are currently unknown. Much information is still needed in the lower levels of the backroom, especially on the entities that inhabit within. The total entity number spans between 2 to 199, each referring to a unique entity discovered within the backrooms. It should be noted that the entity with the number 1 are humans. The following are a couple of entities that are commonly found within the first few levels of the backrooms. The skin stealer is labeled as Entity 10 and is described as a humanoid creature that takes pleasure in wearing human skin over their own. They stand around 2 meters tall, and their skin is covered with suction cups, making wearing the skin of their victims very easy. Their behaviors are docile, choosing to attack only when hungry or aggravated. They wander around the first 4 levels, where encounters with humans are common. Wanderers are advised to stay clear of these beings, as they are able to mimic human voices. Unsuspecting victims may be lured into the skin stealer's traps. Unsuspecting victims may be lured into its traps, thinking that it is another survivor who needs help, only to be ripped apart and devoured. Other telltale signs is that their blood is clear, and their speech is incomprehensible, as they cannot understand the human language. Entity number 5 is named Clumps, and as the name suggests, the being takes the appearance of a blob of flesh that has a random assortment of limbs sticking out of his body. They move throughout the level in a fast, erratic motion, and mostly inhabits level 2 and level 3, but sightings have been reported in other levels. They are also quite intelligent, as they use the element of surprise to capture their prey. Every clump has one long arm that extends to around 2.5 meters, which it keeps hidden. When unsuspecting victims come close to these entities, their hidden arm will lash out, grabbing onto the victim. The clump will then reveal a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth and will proceed to devour the victim. The body of the unlucky victim will be digested and absorbed by the entity, adding on to the limb count and growing out from the clump. Wanderers are advised to seek hideout when hearing the rapid slapping of bare feet against the ground, as this could be an indication that the clumps are nearby. The facelings are number 9 in the entry, and they appear as humanoid creatures that roam the backrooms. Interestingly enough, the biggest difference between humans is that they do not possess faces. Upon looking at their head, you will see nothing but a blank skin canvas. There are 2 main types of facelings, an adult and a child. Adults are more timid in nature and will not attack unless provoked. They can appear in different clothing and age. Some can even read minds and change their appearance to a loved one of the wanderer. Child facelings are much more dangerous than the adult. They have a mischievous and destructive personality and will harm whatever individuals that they come across. Even though they are small, they travel in packs, making them dangerous to the wanderers traveling alone. They also carry around small sharp objects, which can cause major damage. These entities can be found commonly on levels 2, 3, and 4. The deeper and deeper one goes, the more strange and wacky entities they will encounter. These 3 are just some of the many obscure and disturbing things that live within the backrooms. Aside from hostile entities, groups such as the Backroom Remodeling Company can be found. Backroom Robotics is a group dedicated in creating various machinery that can be found littering throughout the levels. Their true intentions remain unclear as to why they are producing these kind of machinery. The groups that settles in the backrooms further extend to the Black Knights, an organization which purpose remains a mystery. The Backroom National Trade Group, a faction who took over an entire level so that their residents can settle in, and many more. Some are welcoming to newcomers, while others are extremely hostile. One will need to do their research before venturing off into the unknown. Otherwise, chances of survival will be close to minimal. If you are truly lost in the backroom and have a reliable Wi-Fi connection along with power, check out the site linked in the description for analysis and tips on how to survive. Adding on to the information already known would greatly help further adventurers. Thank you for watching. I wish you good luck on your journey throughout the backrooms, and maybe you'll be the first to come back and tell the tale.